Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think that love can keep a marriage from failing? It is no more a secret, neither is it surprising to know that many marriages have failed and many more are still failing. When you look to the east, west, north, and south, all you see are failing marriages like packs of cards. The irony of it all is that the couples involved in these failing or failed marriages, one time or the other, profess love to one another. In fact, many still do profess their love for their ex-spouse or even for their spouse that are going through divorce right now. Now, if this love do save marriage, how come or how is it that the love that they have for one another is unable to keep these marriages from falling apart? All this is happening against the backdrop of people of the clergy, marriage counselors, psychologists, and other people's effort together to make sure that marriages do not break. But the truth is that even those who are trying to help you so that your marriage will not break apart, they themselves are not exempt. The people of the clergy are greatest victims of marriage breakdown, even the psychologists and the marriage experts. So something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. Here at Override, we will show you, reveal to you the things that are fundamentally missing in many of these marriages and also show you the solution. It is so because it is not only to reveal what is going on, but at the same time to prevent those who have not been involved in marriage relationship not to go the same rabbit hole that others have gone in. The very first thing that is missing in many of these marriages is what I call a key fundamental principle, and it is the principle of marriage vision. A marriage vision is a shared statement of the goals, aspirations, dreams, and the eventual purpose of the marriage. It helps and guides the couple to navigate through the complexities of marriage while preserving their individual identities, but harnessing them, aligning them together towards a common goal greater than the individual desires. Another thing that is contained in a marriage vision is that it contains the values, the belief system, the decision-making process, the actions, showing forth that decisions are to be made out of reasonable conclusion and not out of emotion. There are so many things that are contained in a marriage vision. But this is why it is very interesting right now. Never you marry. If you're a man, never you contemplate proposing marriage to anybody if you do not have a marriage vision. And to my wonderful ladies, it will be a very disastrous thing for you to accept a marriage proposal based on love and not based on understanding the marriage vision that the man is proposing has. Next time they come, if you're unmarried, asking you to marry them, the very question you need to ask is, what is your marriage vision? And now when the marriage vision is presented, there must be a buy-in, an input, a contribution from the woman to perfect that marriage vision so it will become a shared marriage vision. And when it becomes a shared marriage vision, it will now create more excitement and motivation in the minds and the life of the couple, especially in the life of the wife, who now see a reason and a cause to participate and be that helpmeet to fulfill the purpose of the marriage that she is created to be. The absence of this shared marriage vision in a home have led to many women being frustrated, feeling completely excluded because they have not been a part or they were never a part of the initial arrangement, establishment, management, and direction of the marriage relationship. For this reason, they just feel that they are only instruction receivers, to carry out instructions that are given to them by their husbands. Many of these feelings, many of these women have decided on their own to move forward, wanting to be a solo pilot in order to achieve something on behalf of the family. But you know how that always leads to when the woman steps out and wanting to be everything in the family, wanting to get the directions, want to control, wants to provide, wants to do everything. It is not because she is a bad woman, but because of her feelings of exclusion in the management and direction and decision of the family structure that makes her and pushes them because they are frustrated and have nowhere to play the main purpose. Where there is a family vision or shared marriage vision that is directional to it, but that has a direction, the woman is able now to play her role as a help to meet the purpose of that family. Now, many people have asked me a question in the past. Do marriage vision change? No, marriage vision do not change. However, it does evolve. From the beginning, it was or it seemed to be a marriage vision presented by the man to his wife. Now it turns to a shared marriage vision after the wife has accepted that marriage vision, contributed her own input to perfect it in order to align their individual goals for the greater good and the fulfillment of the purpose for which the marriage is established. The marriage vision has a provision to evolve further when children and other responsibilities begin to pile in. That evolves itself onto what is called a family vision. Now there is a cohesion of the wife, the husband, the children, and other responsibilities in order to fulfill the ultimate goal of the purpose of the marriage and to make it very um, successful. Now, the marriage vision that is shared and accepted creates the enabling environment, okay, for the marriage to move to a new stage. You see, many of you are in marriage, but not many are in marriage relationship. Now, they are two different things. The marriage vision that is accepted and shared creates that enabling environment and understanding to now make it possible for the relationship that needs to be in place in order for the marriage to succeed to work out. Number one, you can see that the marriage vision brings an alignment of goals of the individuals for a greater purpose of the union. It also gives clarity, it gives direction, it creates also that opportunity for effective communication. The two have one mind, one direction, one purpose. Nobody is trying to do something on their own for their own selfish means, or for their own selfish benefit, but for the collective benefit and the interest of the family. Now that gives them the alignment, the unity, the cohesion, the shared value. And remember, the core value and beliefs, it's also applicable in this place. That understanding that enables conflict to be resolved easily. There's no need to keep malice because they have to resolve their conflict easily because and quickly because there is a greater purpose that unresolved differences is going to break, and none of them wants to be responsible for that. They don't have choice but to resolve conflict easily. And also, that brings them to the next stage in their relationship that is measurable, and that is a measured growth. Also, many marriages are aging, people are aging, but the marriage itself have not grown because the relationship that needs to be in place, that bond, that unity, that understanding that should bring growth, measurable growth. I want you to ask yourself, if you're already in marriage, what and in what way have you grown or have the marriage grown in the relationship that should sustain it and give it a successful marriage relationship? We already talked about motivations. We already talked about communications. The final thing I want to bring in there, just not really the final, but the next point I need to bring in this place is what I call shared authority. You see, shared marriage vision creates responsibilities where each person is fitted to perform according to their abilities and where they are best suited. There must also be an accompanying shared authority. When you delegate responsibility, the accompanying authority to perform must be there. It is not enough to delegate responsibility without a shared authority. That also creates frustration in the life of good couples. That should have made a wonderful and successful marriage relationship, but it's not there because only responsibilities are delegated, authorities are not delegated. So I want you to sit now with your spouse or with your potential spouse, whatever it is, to iron out what your shared marriage vision will be and how it could evolve onto a shared family vision. When that is established, you will now understand that marriage is actually simple and easy, only that we lack that fundamental principles that enable it to flow effectively. We will talk about the process in our next video, but before then, I want you to give this video a thumbs up, hit the notification button, share and like, and don't forget to subscribe. I want to make sure that you don't miss any other edition of Override when next we bring out new videos. I remain your host. I am Stephen Archie. Until I see you in our next video, thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.